Well, hello to all my fellow Virgos. My Virgos, you guys have been hanging in there. You guys have been holding on. You've been trying to just stay balanced. You've been trying to be aware and fix things as they come in and keep things in some kind of order and juggle all of the different things, all the little pieces that everybody else is missing. You're trying to pick up and keep going. And you know what, Virgo? It's been a lot. It's been a lot of pressure. Virgos do their best often under pressure when the adrenaline's high. You know, it's like cleaning that house at midnight, till 2 in the morning, and you wake up and you've made a miracle of the whole house, in those 2 precious hours. Virgo has this ability to wake up the next day and focus on this and go handle that. But you know what? Sometimes all of that just gets spinning and spinning out of control. And so, Virgo, your health is really important right now. Your mental health, your spiritual health, and your physical health. Virgo is ruled by the stomach. And so it's the part of our life where we absorb what comes in, whether it's physical food, emotional food, or spiritual food. It absorbs. And if everything gets too turbulent down there, it doesn't come through the way it needs to. And we rule this ability to absorb the good stuff and to be productive and to bring something through that's healthy. And I think that when the Virgo is getting too caught up in too many things and is taking care of everyone, you can really feel down. You can really start to feel unappreciated. You can start to feel depressed. We've had a lot of energy in Scorpio at the end here of 2019, and that's your third house of communication. And when Scorpio's there, it can really have us being quiet, having a hard time talking, having a hard time communicating, wanting to dwell on maybe dark things and traumatic issues and talk about old wounds. And there's a time for that. That's why the universe does bring these energies up. It's not to say we need to avoid them. We've been looking down deep this last few months into some deep psychological stuff and how we're connecting with others. In our group, sometimes Virgos kind of hold back a little bit because we value our relationships and friendships so much that when that Scorpio energy is really heavy, we can be highly sensitive and we can take things wrong, or people can be attracted to wanting to push our buttons and we feel like really threatened. Virgos, we like everything to be balanced, to be perfect, to the conversations to be good and healthy, and the food to be out. And when things start getting wild and crazy and like a rodeo, we don't always do well. And I think for a lot of Virgos, we've been isolated the last few years. We've just sat back and just trying to hang on to what's happening and just stay semi-stable. Well, look around you, Virgo. What things do you have in your life right now? What things, maybe not even realizing it, have you kept stable? Your family, your children, your relationships, maybe your marriage, maybe those things are still there for you. They've made it through the storm. Your business, your work, it's there. It's going. You're not out of the race. But, you still have so much more you want to do. And you've probably just been a little distracted the last few years and having to work on anxiety issues, depression issues. That takes a lot out of us. And there's been a lot of energy, especially with Saturn and Capricorn in our fifth house of children and family and all of those things. It's like we've had to, kind of be serious, kind of handle things, not really go out and have too much fun because we've got to hold everything together. And there's been a lot of responsibility on us, taking care of women in our life, maybe our mother. Virgos right now have been nurturing mothers. The North Node has been there. And For Virgo, the North Node's been in our 11th house. And 11th house is the things that we love, our hopes, our wishes, our dreams. But with Cancer there, it's kind of kept us emotionally just kind of under the current. Like, we can't put too much in, or even a high sensitivity, or taking care of, nurturing others has been heavy on our mind. Taking care of children, a lot of caretaking. And it's frustrating because although that is our nature and we are happy doing that, we want something for ourselves now. And with Aries, our identity in our 8th house, where it's hidden back in the file cabinet, we put ourselves back behind the scenes, we lose our identity. And we become what we're doing, not what we are, not what we are being. We become what we're doing. And when we're not doing enough, we start to feel like, we're not. Then we get self-loathing. I mean, it's hard being a Virgo, right? But at the same time, we are the ones that make magic happen. We are the ones that can put a whole picture together from beginning to end. The one that, can write that book and saved all their old journals and can bring out things and put it into projects that create depth and creativity and totally different perspectives. Virgos love to really get down to the nitty gritty, to watch the crime shows and the mystery shows and figure out the missing pieces. We need that in our life. We need to be able to have our own time. We're entrepreneurs. We like to work alone. We don't mind working alone. We like others and we like to get the energy from others. But at the same time, we've been putting ourselves aside for so long. And at the same time, we need to be really proud of ourselves. Virgo, being proud of what you have attained, what you have kept together in the midst of the most chaotic storms the last 7 years and erratic scenarios, tossed and turned every which way. The relationships we've had, the 7th house is ruled by Pisces, and Neptune is in Pisces, and Pisces does rule, addictions, mental health, healing, all these different things. And so all these different relationships have come in and challenged us. We've had magical relationships, and we've had toxic relationships, and painful relationships, and deceptive relationships. And Virgo, we're really just kind of nice people, but you don't want to piss us off, because once you piss us off, we can give a cold shoulder like nobody else, right? We're done. And so we've had to be done with a lot of things. And it's hard on our soul when we can't fix something, when we have to accept that we can't actually fix something. The other thing that's important going into 2020 this year is the North Node's going to move into our 10th house of career and reputation in Gemini. And so here we have a chance now, like never before, to put our projects together. If you're writing, if you're creating, if you're an entrepreneur, to finally put all the pieces together and to really, really, although it's scattered all over the table, to really say, you know what? I'm not stopping until this is done. With all of the energy moving into our 5th house in Capricorn, that's going to give us that real stability we need. And Jupiter there, we can actually make some money. Virgos, we've been struggling financially for a long time. Where we get a little coming in and then boom, it's gone. It's like, every month it's this cycle. And it's like, why do we keep playing out this cycle financially? You know what? We're going to have the opportunity to really stabilize now. And we're at the point now, too, Virgo, where with Capricorn in the 5th house, it can detach us a little bit from everybody else's emotional stuff. We've had to kind of detach, which makes us sad. and kind of makes us feel lonely when we've had to really hold back and not be a part of things, and almost like a self prison. But in this time, we've been doing a lot of self actualization. We've been learning about ourselves. We've been looking at ourselves. We've been able to really say, why do we suffer from anxiety? Why do I suffer from OCD? Virgos can take on a lot of, neurotic and high anxiety because it's ruled by Mercury. All right, and coming out in our 10th house is Gemini, another sign ruled by Mercury. So we're very mercurial. It's why we use our hands and we like to work. Are you working with your hands, Virgo? Are you working with your hands? Because working with our hands is part of our greatest gift and balancing us. Talking with your hands, working with your hands, getting your hands on your project, even typing and writing and computer stuff. We could be very creative using our hands. But in this year, as the energy moves forward, we have the chance to really claim who we are. I'm talking to everybody about identity because Chiron is in Aries for the next 7 years. And it's healing our identities. It's in the first stages, in the first degrees. But it's going after those areas. And for us, it's our 8th house. It's those private relationships. There's a lot of times people don't realize, although Virgo kind of likes to stay back and not create too much trauma and drama. But in the 8th house, it's very competitive. Very competitive in those things in our life that nobody else can see. We're competitive in those ways, and in our relationships, in our intimate relationships, we're very protective. And we're very protective of those things that the 8th house rules. And so we're fiery there. And Capricorn's going to be there. And it's going to give us the power now to step up and say, you're not taking me down. You're not taking me down. It's going to give us a chance for our identity to be strong and to walk into a room and just know who we are. That's where we need to be. Because it's been easy to lose our identity in everybody else. This has been a theme for many of the signs, and Virgo is definitely included in that. Towards the end of the year, Venus is going to move into Leo in September, and then it'll move into Virgo in October. So September, October, November actually is going to be a really good time for us, a really creative time where we come out. So what are we going to do to get ready from now until then? It takes 9 months to really have that birth, right? To create that baby. And by September, we need to have that baby ready to deliver, because we're going to have a chance to get it out there. We're going to have finally the financial stability is possible for us this year. The key is, though, we can't keep giving it away. We have to set those boundaries, and we have to stop taking on everybody else's stuff. This, again, is for a lot of the signs. But Virgo tends to obsess over other worries and things and people and how can they fix it? How can they make it better? And meanwhile, we completely lose ourselves. So if we want to be all that we can be, and Venus coming into Virgo this year for us, a chance like never before to rise above the things that are going on and to take a power position. To take a full power position in these areas and to not be knocked down, not be intimidated. But we don't have to yell, we don't have to scream, we don't have to fall on the floor, we don't have to have a panic attack. We can just be. We can finally be. So we have to work on our spiritual stuff, we have to work on our physical stuff. Now's the time that a lot of spiritual people and things and healing and opportunities are ready to come in to our lives and our relationships. We need to be open to them. We need to be ready. We need to get out from behind the scenes a little bit. And we need to be ready to come out in our careers this year. We're going to come out fighting this spring. So watch out, Virgos. Watch out. And like I said, you know, we just have to put the blinders on for a little while and not let ourselves get involved in everybody else's stuff and really start to appreciate what we're here to offer. There's not another sign like the Virgo that can serve. And in our day and age, like never before, we need to continue the serving industry, the ability to serve others and to give to others, but yet be able to be strong enough to also expect an exchange and accept to be rewarded for what we do. You know, we have the experience, we have the know-how, and we need to stand up for it. We need to stop allowing people to make us feel like we're little kids, or, you know, that they have to criticize us or tell us what to do. We don't like that anyway, do we? No way. We don't like all that telling us what to do. So we don't want it. So guess what? We're going to stand up. We're going to know who we are, know what we can do, know how to do it, and know when to do it. Okay, Virgo? So relationships are good this year, but the main focus is going to be on our identity and our personal goals, which we do really well with anyway. So give yourself permission to be, sometimes it's being the sole survivor of your life. Give yourself permission to fix ourselves, to put all that effort and all that great energy. You know, often Virgos are your best friends. This is the year we have to be our own best friend and have a little fun with it and enjoy it. Put the music on. Run the bathtub. Take care of yourself. Tell people no. Tell people no. But yet, be a part of groups of people that are working on the same things. Raise the bar in our relationships. Don't always be the one that's picking everybody else up. It's time for us to be around other people who are strong and self-focused in a good, healthy way. So we can all bring together, put this whole gourmet meal on the table together. We each bring our plate. And when we each bring our plate, then we have a feast. And nothing more than a Virgo likes is to have a feast with all the different pieces brought together. All right, Virgos. I'm counting on you. 2020. It's your year. Take it. And don't look back.